the ancient Egyptians left behind them some of the greatest wonders in the world, from their magnificent pyramids to their giant statues and other archaeological remains. Their culture is almost entirely unique in that it survived through millennia, mostly intact. Giving us today an unmatched look into the past. But when we talk about Egypt, we usually refer to their pharaohs or the great monuments they built. Yet their real wisdom can be found in a less expected place: their hieroglyphs. In this video, we'll explore together some hidden wisdom inside Egyptian hieroglyphs that may surprise you. And to see more videos like this one, stay tuned. Let's start off with the basics. What are hieroglyphs? Basically, these are pictorial symbols used by the ancient Egyptians as a writing system. They were first used around 3200 BC, making them some of the oldest human-made symbols still deciphered today. The word hieroglyph comes from Greek, meaning sacred carvings. This name was given to them by the French scholar Jean-François Champollion after his discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which allowed him to read and translate Egyptian hieroglyphs for the first time since the days of Cleopatra. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs consist of 3 types of symbols: phonograms representing sounds, determinatives placed next to a word to specify its meaning, and sometimes ideograms representing entire words. Most of the symbols resemble the objects they represent, such as a bird or a boat. For example, the symbol for king looks like a pharaoh's headdress. To write a message, the scribe would stamp, carve, or paint each sign. If writing on papyrus, each sign stood for either a whole word or a part of a word. These signs could also be combined to form new words. Over the course of Egyptian history, more than 700 signs were used in total. Hieroglyphic writing was not only used for documentation, but was also utilized on tombs and monuments, acting as a way to communicate with the dead. A good example is the famous bust of Nefertiti, where the hieroglyphs around her head describe her as the Tan's beloved and the great of praises. Other examples are the walls of the tombs of the rich and powerful, where the images and inscriptions praise the deceased and show scenes from their life. But in many cases, ordinary people were denied the privilege of having their names written in hieroglyphs, which makes the few examples of their writings even more precious. An interesting example is a small limestone slab discovered in 1896 near the Giza Plateau. It was inscribed with the name of a worker named Nefermat. This humble worker wrote his name using hieroglyphs. The fact that he had access to this type of writing shows how important literacy was in Egyptian culture. However, this is an exception rather than the rule. But why are these symbols so special? Why do they hold so much value? Well, the answer lies in their creation. You see, ancient Egyptian art wasn't just made to be pretty. Every detail held a special meaning. Creating a piece of art was a sacred act that required precision and intentionality. The artists believed that they were creating something eternal, something that would live on forever. So they put their heart and soul into every stroke, every line, every curve. Now, let's take a closer look at some hieroglyphs and see what wisdom they have to teach us. First, let's examine the Eye of Horus. This symbol is one of the most recognizable in all of Egypt, representing protection, health, and healing. The Eye of Horus dates back to around 4000 BC, making it one of the oldest symbols in history. It was believed to ward off evil spirits and bring good luck to those who wore it. Interestingly, the Eye of Horus consists of 6 parts, each representing a different aspect of human life. The top part represents the sky, the bottom part represents the earth, and the 2 sides represent the sun. The center of the eye contains the air and water, while the pupil represents the underworld. Together, these 6 parts represent all of creation and remind us of the interconnectedness of all things. Next, we have the Ankh. This symbol represents life and immortality and is one of the most potent symbols in all of Egypt. The Ankh dates back to around 3200 BC and was used to represent the everlasting life that the Egyptians believed all souls would enjoy after death. The Ankh was often depicted in tombs and on funerary objects, serving as a reminder of the eternal life that awaited the deceased. In fact, the very word Ankh means life or living in ancient Egyptian. It was considered the key to eternal happiness and was associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. For the Egyptians, the Ankh was a source of great comfort, as it symbolized the hope that one day they too would achieve immortality. It was believed that those who carried the Ankh with them or wore it as a necklace were protected from harm and were blessed with good fortune. Another fascinating hieroglyph is the Djed pillar. This symbol represents strength, stability, and eternity. It dates back to around 2680 BC and was originally used to represent the mythical primeval cedar tree that the Egyptians believed supported the sky. The Djed pillar was often shown in temples and other sacred buildings, serving as a reminder of the importance of strength and stability in life. The Egyptians believed that the universe was held together by 4 pillars, and the Djed represented the central pillar that connected the earth to the sky. It was also associated with Osiris and was seen as a symbol of his resurrection. The Mendesian cap is another powerful symbol representing fertility, prosperity, and rebirth. It dates back to around 3100 BC and was originally used to represent the head of a mythical creature known as a baboon. The Mendesian cap was often worn by farmers and other workers, as it was seen as a symbol of fertility and prosperity. It was also used in fertility rituals and was believed to protect women during childbirth. In fact, the Mendesian cap was so important that it was even buried with mummies as a way of ensuring the deceased's fertility in the afterlife. Lastly, the last hieroglyph we will discuss today is the Sheps. This symbol represents balance, harmony, and the cosmos. It dates back to around 2650 BC and was originally used to represent the horizon line. The shape of the Sheps resembles the shape of a woman's hips, which symbolized fertility and abundance. It was often depicted in temples and other sacred buildings, serving as a reminder of the importance of balance and harmony in life. The Egyptians believed that the universe was in constant balance, and the sheeps represented the perfect balance between the forces of good and evil. It was also associated with the goddess Nut, who represented the sky and the stars. As we can see, Each hieroglyph has its own unique meaning and significance. They are not just decorative symbols, but rather powerful representations of the Egyptian worldview. Okay? By understanding the hidden wisdom within these hieroglyphs, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the Egyptian civilization and their way of life. Now, we want to hear from you. What did you find most interesting about Egyptian hieroglyphs? Do you know any other symbols or signs used by ancient Egyptians? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to stay tuned for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.